Good morning, everyone. This is Priscilla Subramaniam, and I'm so happy to have with me this week on my Word of Mouth Wednesdays, Burton
Kelso.
Burton Kelso. Sorry about that. I think I'm still waking up this morning. Well, Burton, I want to thank you so much for being with us this morning. And the reason that I wanted to speak with you was because you are a tech guru. And I thought that it would be really good for people to know how important it is to stay safe online. And so I know that you have all the answers. So I'm looking forward to picking your brain a little bit about that. So my first question to you is, so as we continue to navigate through COVID-19, can you please share with us the best ways to continue to stay safe online?
Yes. In COVID-19 crisis, obviously, cybersecurity is a big concern. So it's important that people understand that 99% of cybercrime requires user interaction. So that means as long as you're not clicking on links or visiting websites you shouldn't visit, then you and your devices are going to be safe. So it means that you've got to make sure that you're using proper passwords or passphrases in order to keep your online account safe. Means you also need to set up two-factor authentication for your online accounts to protect them. And it also means that you have to have the right antivirus protection and make sure that you're not having too much antivirus protection on your devices, because too much can cause your devices to slow down, and it can just cause it can just clog up the works as far as your computer and devices are concerned.
Okay, see, I didn't realize that you could have too much and that actually could slow down your devices.
Yeah, there's also a couple of tools that people can use in order to make sure that their information is not on the dark web. The first one would be a website called Have I Been Pwned, and pwned is spelled PWNED.com. If you go to Have I Been Pwned, you can put in your email address and find out if your email has been part of a large-scale data breach. The second one I always struggle with, it's Cyberlitica. And it's a website. It's cyberlitica.com, and I'll spell it. It's cyberlitica.com. It's an antivirus site, but at the same time, they allow you to put in your password, and then you can find out if your password is on the dark web. And if it is, then obviously you need to make sure that you change that password so that cyber criminals aren't utilizing it. One other practice that cyber criminals use is a practice called credential stuffing. And that means that cyber criminals take your credentials that are already leaked out on the dark web from all of the data breaches that have occurred. And then they begin to use your email or emails and your passwords to try to log into your online accounts to make sure, or to get in and get access to your data. So that's why you see instances of Zoom accounts being hacked. You see instances of social media and email accounts being hacked because those credentials are already on the dark web. So it's always important to make sure that you're utilizing passwords that people aren't using, and to make sure that if you know that your information has been leaked in a data breach, that you make sure that you're changing your password.
Okay, that's why they always recommend every 90 days to change your password.
Right, exactly.
Okay, do you recommend maybe a little more frequently than 90 days, or is that best practices?
Frequency is good, but just so that you're not having to go into the habit of changing all of your passwords like all the time, then 90 days would be a good time frame to choose, or just whenever you hear of a large-scale data breach. If you know that you've worked with a company that's been breached, then obviously that would be a good time to change your passwords. And most importantly, you have to make sure that you're using different passwords for all of your online accounts. So if a criminal gets one password, maybe they get access to one account as opposed to all of the accounts, all the accounts that of all the sites that you deal with online. And one other thing I was going to add too, as far as password storage, don't save it in your Google account or your Yahoo account. We have seen countless people do that and then wonder why criminals are able to access all of their information. You can store it in your browser. You can store it with a password keeper software, but never store it like in a cloud service like a Dropbox or a OneDrive or even an iCloud drive. It needs to stay localized so that you can keep yourself safe.
That's a really, really good point. I'm so glad that you brought that up. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And I also like to do these Word of Mouth Wednesdays because I want to be able to share other people's gifts. And so I know you have that in the form of your business. So can you tell us more about your company, Integral?
Yeah, so at Integral, we're a tech support company. We help homes and businesses throughout the metro area and beyond with any computer issues. So we work with computers, tablets, smartphones, printers, routers, and everything else that connects to the internet. We love technology. We're the guys who have read all the manuals, and our mission is to make technology fun and easy to use for everybody.
Excellent, excellent. And then can you share with us how we can continue to stay connected with you through your website and through your social media channels?
Well, as far as myself, you can always look up Burton Kelso on all of the social media channels. If you're experiencing technology issues, you can find Integral at callintegralnow.com, our website. We put out a weekly blog to keep people informed. And then on our social media channels at Integral, we also are constantly sharing tech tips and cybersecurity alerts in order to keep people educated and, of course, to make sure that their computers and technology are easy to use.
Perfect, perfect. And is there anything else that you kind of want to share just very briefly about just the 2020 tech trends that you've been observing so far?
Well, yes. Obviously, since we're all moving towards a more mobile workforce, it's important that you stay on top of your internet service. You can make sure that you have high-speed internet at home because that's kind of like the glue that puts everything together. And then finally, the thing that most people have to worry about at home is their smart home devices. So if you have a Google Home device or an Amazon Alexa device, you want to make sure if you're having sensitive conversations that either you work in a room where those devices aren't, or you change the settings on those devices. So A, they're not listening into your conversations, and B, that you can go into your online accounts and delete all of your recorded messages so the folks at Google and Amazon don't have your private work information.
Yes, actually, as a matter of fact, I visited your blog this week and I did see an article about that. So I think that's a really good resource that people can read more about and know what to do with their home devices.
Right, because I don't think people realize that these smart devices are always listening in to your conversations. And the purpose of that is to kind of make that device more personalized to you. But at the same time, in order to make that happen, your conversations are being recorded in the cloud. And so the folks at Google and Amazon can actually see that. So erase those conversations, mute those devices, or work in a room where none of those devices exist.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so, so much for sharing that. That is so, so helpful. Well, I want to thank you so much, Burton Kelso, tech expert, for stopping by my Word of Mouth Wednesdays. Thank you for sharing your expertise with us. And if you'd like to be a part of my Word of Mouth Wednesdays, please feel free to reach out to me on either Instagram or Twitter at Sophie_class. That's spelled SOPHI_CLASS. I want to thank you so much, Burton, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.